How's everyone doing? We're starting this live show in a minute. Just give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and share this live podcast. This is an opportunity for you to share this podcast because today we're going to be talking about the diversity visa lottery. It is one of the programs that brings about diversity in the U.S. The U.S. is founded by the principles linked to diversity. That's why you see Hispanics, Blacks, Whites, and Native Americans all over in the U.S. So please, as you're joining, go ahead and share this live. This will give an opportunity for people who are interested in this session to learn about the diversity visa lottery green card program. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining today's edition. Please share as much as you can, please. Again, if you're just joining, we will be talking about the Diversity Visa Lottery 2025 program. It's an easy route to join family, friends, and relatives in the US. It is one of those programs that brought me to the US. Here in the US, all thanks to the Diversity Visa Lottery program. So I'm talking about experience, right? Whatever I'll be sharing today is based on my experience, the experience I've had assisting fellow DV winners over the past year. So please, I encourage you to share this session. You don't want to have this information and keep it alone. Over 55,000 visas are allocated for the DV lottery program each year, and 55,000 thousand visa means a whole lot for opportunities. So please share as much as you can. Share in groups, share on your Facebook profile, share on your Facebook pages while we get started on today's session. Okay, we are starting our session. Thanks everyone for joining. Let me know in the comment section where you're joining from. That way, I will tell up this content based on your location. So let me know where you're joining from. I see Steffi, Linda. Welcome to this session. I see Dan Franklin. Thanks for joining from Douala, Cameroon. I see Eno Margaret. Hello, Sir GWI. Thanks for joining today's session. I see someone joining from Lusaka. Thanks for joining. A lot of people are not aware of the diversity visa lotteries. That's why when I see only 20 something people viewing this content, it's not enough. Honestly speaking, we should be having hundreds, because this is an opportunity for you to gather information, an opportunity for you to invite friends to have this information. I posted earlier this week that over 70% of the applications, diversity visa applications from Africa are being rejected. So they don't even meet the requirements. In as much as you submit and you get the confirmation number, when they go to the system, it doesn't even process. That's why we're having this session today. That is why we are live from Washington, D.C. If you are joining from Lusaka, hello. It's I believe it should be 7 p.m., 7:16 p.m. If you're joining, I see Cam Elvis joining. I know you're joining from Cameroon. Good evening, sir. Thanks for joining. I see Pamela joining, watching from Yaoundé, Cameroon. Thanks for joining. Please, please, I beg of you, share this session. Share, invite friends, invite your younger ones to be part of our session. So we are talking about the diversity visa lottery program. The diversity visa lottery program, again, it's through this program that I came to the US. Easy program, the most easiest way to come to the US as an individual, as a couple, married. If you have adopted children, if you have kids, whether you're married or unmarried, this is the easiest and the most efficient program. You don't want to miss your chance of getting this visa lottery opportunity. You don't want to miss your chance on being one of the randomly selected applicants for this program. I remember in Cameroon several years back when the DV lottery, when I heard about the DV lottery, people kept talking about the DV lottery. I was in Bambali, Cameroon. That is at the University of Bamenda. My first year when I played the lottery, that was my very first time to play the diversity visa lottery. I didn't know of what it was all about, and I am here to share my experience because I didn't pay a single franc. I didn't pay a single kwacha to register for the diversity program, and I don't want you to pay a single franc or a single kwacha. Don't be put out there. Don't go in there, put on makeup, and be taking professional photos or half photos in the name of playing the diversity visa lottery and paying 1,000 francs or 5 kwacha, 10 kwacha. It is completely wrong. You miss your chances when you trust someone to play the diversity lottery visa for you. Because guess what? If the person doesn't like you, the person can do whatever. The person can even give you tell you they've played, meanwhile they haven't played. So please, I beg of you, share this content, share this live session, invite friends and family to join our session. I do have a defined, a well refined, and an in-depth content for you here about the diversity visa lottery. I only see 23 people joining this session, so please, please, please share. Uh, Great news while you're sharing, the diversity visa lottery is finally here. The 2025 edition of the DV lottery is here. It's something that we've been waiting for. It's just been up an hour, 19 minutes ago. So there is plenty of time for you to play, but you need to have the right information. That is why we are on this session. That is why we are handling this live session. Based on experience, I see my fellow brother Braden Chinui joining from Maryland, USA. This is also an individual. We played the lottery same year, and he was opportune. He got lucky just like me. He was selected same year as I was. We even met. We became friends through the diversity visa lottery program, and ever since it's been exciting, exciting. We won the lottery together. We went for interviews like weeks apart, and we found ourselves in the US. We lived together for over 7 years, and it's an opportunity for you to come to the US and not, and witness the well placed opportunities that are in the US. If someone is out there telling you that there are no opportunities or Africa is better than USA, if you're from a poor family, don't listen to them. Of course, I'm not saying Africa is what is it's. I mean, US is better than Africa in every aspect. I'm saying in terms of opportunities when you're from a poor family. Yes, I said it because the leadership in Africa has really nailed us. That is why we are out here looking for greener pastures. Hey, if political leaders are coming to the US, if uh, people who are making millions, $1 million coming to the US for better opportunities, what about you and myself who are just, barely getting started, who are struggling with daily bread? So thanks for joining today's cash edition. If you're looking at my screen currently, let me go ahead and remove this banner. This is the DV entry. This is the official website of the DV lottery program. There is no other website other than this website. So be careful. Don't be scammed. Don't be fooled. The website is dvprogram.state.gov. Every year, this program gets the website gets updated. It gets updated with new entries, requirements, and checks. Notice that it gives you instruction for the DV 2025 program. It also tells you photo examples, because the reason why they put in photo examples here is because the photos are the number one factor why a lot of us do not make it through this program. So thanks for joining, and let me see. I see people joining from Maryland, USA. Thank you, Immaculate, for joining. I see. Okay, so Immaculate says, can you drop the link for the website? Of course, I will drop the link immediately after my live session. You will have the link as a comment during my live session, because you don't want to be distracted right now. You just want to pay attention to this live session, and let's get started. So, in order to play the diversity visa lottery, right? First of all, let me talk a little bit what the diversity visa lottery is. The diversity visa lottery, or otherwise also known as the green card lottery, is it's basically a program that was made available by the U.S. government to allow nationals from different countries to with historical low rates. That is, people from countries with low rates of population in the U.S. to come to the U.S. to apply, get a visa, and come to the U.S. for opportunities. The main goal of the diversity visa lottery is to increase the population of the US, make the US more diverse, because it is diversity of the US that gives it strength. And also, of course, again, I mentioned opportunities, opportunities, opportunities. So the history, when you look at the diversity visa lottery, it was initiated through an Immigration Act of 1990. This was made. It created hopes for individuals and countries with limited access to opportunities to come to the US and have better lives, better opportunities. So, obtaining the green card, and when we talk about the green card, we mean the green card in the US is basically your residence permit. With your green card, you are free to work. You're free to apply for opportunities to go to schools with no restrictions. You have almost similar opportunity to a US citizen. The only difference is that a US citizen can vote while a green card holder can't vote. But hey, when you make it through the diversity visa lottery, it takes you about 5 years of living in the US to become a citizen. I am a US citizen, or thanks to the diversity visa lottery program, you will become a US citizen if you are selected through this program. So we do have instructions. If you look at my screen currently, we do have instructions on apply or how to apply for the diversity visa lottery. Each year the instructions differ, so you want to pay attention for the diversity visa year of which you are applying for. Of course, we are in 2023, and a lot of you will be wondering why DV 2025 and not DV 2020. It is because it gives room for the processing of the visa and the whatever timeline they want to meet, right? So the diversity visa lottery is being processed on fiscal year base. So the fiscal year base for the diversity visa lottery is different from the normal fiscal year, January to December. The fiscal year in this case is from October 1st to September 30th. So if you if you play the diversity visa 2025 currently, and you have to wait till next year to check your results. So checking the results again, this program is 100% free. Do not pay a single franc, do not pay a single quarter, do not pay a single dollar anywhere else. So the opportunity we look into. Let me check the comment section before I continue. I want to make sure that everyone is following, everyone is paying attention. If you have any question during my presentation, during my our conversation, because I'm going to walk you through how to play the diversity visa lottery. If you have any question, please go ahead and post the question. Just give me 1 second. Let me share this link to someone who needs it. So the very first thing we look into each year when the DV lottery comes out is the instruction. That is why it is the top on the list of the entry the electronic diversity visa program page. And if we click on this link, it will take us to the instructions. So what we need to know about the diversity visa lottery. So if it says here that important notice and it gives whatever instructions, look at the start form. The online registration, it tells you when it starts, October 4th, 2023 at 12 noon, which is 1 hour past, 1 hour, 27 minutes past our time. And it gives a PDF version of the instruction page. I've downloaded this, so I'll open it in a bit. It also tells you, it also gives you the various countries that are eligible for this program, very important. And it helps guide you knowing the various process that are involved in the diversity visa lottery program. So let's go back to the page. Once we gather our instructions, we while I pull up these instructions real quick, let me just bring up the instructions real quick. Mm, So if you look at the instruction, it tells you applicants who are selected in this program must meet simple but strict eligibility requirements. Yes, because this process is very simple, but it is strict because without you following instructions, you will miss out on the opportunity. That is why it is always stated simple but strict eligibility requirements for to qualify for the diversity visa (DV). So this is handled by the Department of State. The Department of State is one of the bodies, the departmental bodies in the US that handles visa processing, consular affairs, and uh, uh, international relations. So it says for the DV 2025, natives of the following countries and areas are not eligible to apply. This is important, and you always see countries like Nigeria on the list. When you look at countries like Nigeria, the reason why Nigeria became ineligible for the DV lottery program is because, again, remember I talked about the history of the diversity visa lottery, where it states that they are given opportunity for countries that are with least population in the US to come to the US for opportunities. Nigeria, there are a lot of Nigerians in the US. That is why the opportunity they had to stop processing. Nigeria was eligible at the time of when they all started the diversity visa lottery, but became ineligible because of the amount of Nigerians or the population they have here in the US. So you have countries like Canada. Of course, Canada is not because of the relations between Canada and the US. China is not involved. Mexico is not involved. There are a lot of Mexicans here in the US as well. But let's just go straight because we don't have much time. So requirements of natives of countries with historical low rates. So if we click on this link, it will tell us the list of countries that are eligible for this program. But of course, we know Cameroon is eligible, Zambia is eligible, and other African countries as well. So it says requirement two, at least you must have at least a high school or its equivalent in order to play to meet the eligibility requirements for this program. It doesn't mean if you are in process of getting your high school, you shouldn't play the so you shouldn't play the diversity visa lottery. It simply means that if you know at the time of your visa processing, which will be in 2025, which will be in 2025, if you know that you will have your high school diploma or your high school certificate during that period, then you can go ahead and play the diversity visa. Alternatively, you can also have 2 years of work experience within the past 5 years in an occupation that requires at least 2 years of training. While this is an alternative, it is always very difficult to establish the fact that you have 2 years of work experience. So do not take your chance. Make sure if you have high school, if you don't have high school diploma or high school certificate, please, once you're playing the diversity visa lottery, enroll and start taking classes. So the next part of the entry, the instructions is it tells you the entry period of the diversity visa lottery. It says you can apply or you can register for this program from October 4th, which is today at 12 noon Eastern time. Eastern time is New York, Washington D.C. time. So you can play, which is roughly 6 p.m. in Zambia, 5 p.m. in Cameroon. So we've already passed the hour. You can start playing today. You can start playing right now. Completing it walks you through the step of completing the DV lottery, which we will touch base in a second. So let's go back on the form. So we've looked at the DV 2025 instructions. Let's begin our entry. This is how you play the visa lottery. You start by clicking on the begin entry and make sure that you are within the DV 2025 portal. Make sure that you are on the right website, because during this program there are a lot of frauds. People create similar websites. Make sure you are on the official website, dvprogram.state.gov. So this authentication method is just trying to prove that you are not a robot, because they don't want a lot of, a lot of high-end programming and artificial intelligence. People can just create scripts or codes that just play this automatically. So when you put in your entry, it can be in lowercase, it can be uppercase, it doesn't matter. Of course, it goes straight to uppercase. So if you type it and you hit submit, it should bring you to the entrance information. This is where the fun begins. This is what determines if you will even stand a chance, if your application or your registration form stand a chance to being randomly selected. Because a lot of us, we just fill out this information and we don't even make it to the actual selection process. So your last name here is basically, let's just use an example of which name can I use? Let me use a name like Richard Banda, right? Richard Banda. So when in this case, Richard Banda, the first name will be Richard, last name will be Banda. So your family name, whatever you guys have within your family, is what is your whatever you commonly share within your family. So let's say Richard have siblings called Banda Paul, or Paul Banda, or Mary Banda, or all of these. The family name is the Banda. So let me put this. So the first name here is Richard, and the family name here is Banda. If you have middle name here is what the name in between the Banda and the Richard. So if you have a third name, this is where you put the third name. For gender, of course, Richard is a male, so I'll go ahead and put male. Of course, if you don't have middle name, you can put no middle name. That is, if you only have two names, it definitely means you might not have a middle name. Go ahead and put no middle name. And for gender, Richard is a male, so we'll put male. If you're a female, go ahead and put female. For date of birth, let's go ahead and say, let's give Richard 07. for the month, which is July. Let's give Richard 04, July 4th, and let's say Richard was born in the year 2000. Pay close attention because you will need the year. The Richard will need the year, the name, especially the last name and the year in order to verify in May when the results come out if they are being selected as well as the confirmation number. So city where you were born. This does not mean your current city. This means the city where they gave birth to you. So if Richard was born in Lusaka, we'll put Lusaka here. If of course if Richard happen like doesn't know of the city where he was born, he can put birth city unknown. But of course, almost everyone knows the city they're born. So the most important thing here, we have two things. We have the photo and the country. Country where, of course, it will be country of eligibility, but country where you are born. Country where you're born does not mean the current country you are in. It means the country where you're born. Even if your parents are from any other country, let's say, for example, you're from a military family, and your parents they were deployed. You are from Lusaka, Zambia, and your parents were deployed to Ghana for a mission, and you were born in Ghana, so you have to put Ghana here. So, but if you were born in Lusaka, Zambia, of course, you have to put Zambia here. Country of eligibility. Yes, this is the most important. Second with the photo. So, your country of eligibility here, if you read the instructions, it says your country of eligibility will normally be the same as your country of birth. It doesn't mean it is exact. It says it will normally be, right? But there are situations where it wouldn't be your country of birth, and I'll give those exceptions. So, but your country of eligibility does not mean your country where you currently live or the country where your spouse or your husband or your wife currently lives. It means the country where you are born. So, if you were born in Zambia, means you are eligible for this program. Now, what about someone who was born in Nigeria? And because Nigeria is ineligible, what do they do? If you're born in Nigeria, means you are not eligible for this program. So no need even filling this form, right? But in a case where you were born in Nigeria, your parents are from, let's say your parents are from Nigeria, but you were born somewhere else. Of course, you can fill wherever you're born. So country of eligibility does not necessarily mean your nationality. It means the country where you are born. So if you're residing in Dubai, if you're residing in Ghana, Kenya, wherever you were born before traveling, that is your eligibility. So we'll put Zambia. Of course, it says, are you claiming eligibility based on the country where you were born? Yes, because it automatically picks Zambia here, right? So this is it is default. If you are saying that the country where you're born is Zambia, and your country of eligibility, it will ask you, are you claiming eligibility based on the country where you were born? Because this is the most common, and it even states it right here that your country of eligibility will normally be the same as your country of birth. So if your country of birth is Zambia, they expect like 99% of the time that your country of eligibility will be the country where you're born. So that's why it automatically grazes out. You can select it. But in a case like the case of the Nigeria I talked about, that if you are from Nigeria family and you were born in a different country, you can say, of course, it will still be wherever you were born. But also, if you are married, if you're a Nigerian and you're a Nigerian and let's say you're married to a Cameroonian, meaning you can claim eligibility based on your relationship, your marriage to someone who is eligible. This is very important. So if you're in a country that is not eligible, and you're married to someone who in a country that is eligible, you can claim eligibility based on the country of your spouse. So in this case, if this person was Nigerian, the person will click no here and select the country of the spouse, because they are not claiming eligibility based on country of birth. They are claiming eligibility based on the relationship they have with their spouse or wherever their spouse is was born. So, but in this case, we believe Richard Banda was born in. We believe he was born in Zambia, and he's claiming eligibility based on country that he was born. So we will click this, and this will automatically this part you don't have to select. So this is the key, this is the trick. Photographs must be submitted at the time of EDV entry. A lot of people will skip this, will try to skip this part. Of course, even if you skip, I'm not sure it will go. But do not play with this part. This is where a lot of people get disqualified. So we do have, before even going and selecting a picture, follow the guardians. We have a photo tool here. If you go to thd.phototool.state.gov, this is the official site of the DV, the Department of State, to check on photos based on whether you for passport, for visas, for the diversity visa lottery. So if you upload your picture, let's say, for example, I upload this picture. This is this. I have two examples here. I have a picture that I just took with my phone without editing. If I click on this picture and I post it, your photo, it says your photo has been rejected for the following reasons. Image is overly compressed. Please use a compression ratio that is less than 20 plus 1. This is all based on the requirements. So this is very easy. All you have to do is you can take this picture was taken from my phone, right? I took the picture from my phone on my phone, sorry, and I simply edited it. And I'll show you the various tools you can use to edit your photo. It's automatic. You don't have to click so much. So these are the requirements. So basic examples of photos. If you look from here, let me check the comment section to make sure I'm speaking like everyone is getting me and we have no issues. Okay, I see people following watching from Zambia. Thank you, Juliet, for joining. Oh, my senior boss watching. My boss says he's watching from Bafut. This is someone in the US saying he's watching from Bafut, Bamenda, Cameroon. We have watching from Zambia. A lot of Zambians here. Thank you so much for joining. Before I forget, right? I will post at the end of this session. I will post a Google form page. Please, I don't want you to pay a single kwacha, a single franc CFA, a single dollar to play for lottery. Play this lottery yourself. Follow the instructions I'm giving. If you have any questions, post in the comment section and we will tackle it. Do not go and miss your chance of playing. I remember when I posted this, someone reached out to me in the WhatsApp that they are going for their interview, and I was like, oh wow, that they saw my post, they're going for their DV. That's someone from Lusaka, Zambia. That one lady, she sent me a message on WhatsApp that she's going for her interview the following day. I was like, wow, at least people know about this program. So back to the photo requirements. So if you notice, these are examples of how your photos should. They don't expect you to have some sort of expression. So wherever you see the green tick, these are acceptable photos. It should be half cut. It should be a white background. If you look at the back of my camera, you see my white background. And I'll share once I end this presentation. I'll go ahead and show you how to take the photos. So the size and position, it gives you various examples. Do not bend your head, do not tilt your head one direction. This is wrong. It says, do not be, if you look at this photo keenly, this lady is on one side of the frame. You have to be exactly in the middle, like just like this, my border here. It also says, do not be far away from your camera. If you look at this person, it's far. That's why you see the X bar here. So it is very easy. Let no one fool you on, oh, come and let me play your lottery. Do not send out your information to anyone to play the lottery for you. There is nobody can increase your chances of winning or being selected more than you increasing your own chances by doing the right thing. So pose and expression, let's go. Pose and expression, you can maintain a natural smile. Do not bend your head and like you're shy. Do not do that. That's why we see an X here. Do not open your teeth like this, my brother here. Do not lift your head at the top, upward. It is wrong. That's why you see X. Do not wear glasses. Glasses are completely. If you put on glasses, the by nature you have to take off your glasses or your lenses before taking this picture. Do not put on hats, extra hats. Of course, if you're a Muslim and you have these I don't know how do they call it. Is it hijab or something? You can put it on, but make sure your full face is showing like this. Do not hide your mouth, your chin. Your chin must show. And of course, this hair is not permitted. If you have a hair like this, you have to push it to the back. That way they can see your ears, because the main thing is also they want to see your ears. Shadow and lightening. You see the various examples. So go through I'll post all of these links at the end of the session. That way you can go through them and understand each process. So, but my photo has been rejected. So already I know that I cannot play with this photo. So what do? I will edit this photo. I'll show you at some point how to edit this photo. But I already have an edited photo. So I'll say, okay, I have an edited photo. Let's look at the dimension of this photo. So if I go to properties, oh, it came up somewhere here. Let me bring it up. So if you, I don't know if you can see I'm not sure you can see this. Am I sharing? Looks like I'm sharing the win. Okay. Oh, let me see what I'm sharing actually. Yes. You can see what I'm showing you exactly. But okay, that's fine. So if you look at this, let me select the other photo. So what I'll do is let me stop sharing and share. Let me actually share it, that way you can see the file I'm selecting. So I'm gonna stop sharing and share back. I want to share the entire screen. Perfect. Perfect. So now you can see everything. If you look at, this is how I did it. Just go to choose new photo. Since this photo has been rejected because of the compression, I will go to the new photo. I already have this photo. If I even hover over the picture, you'll notice the dimension is 600 by 600 and the size is 112 kilobytes. Let's look at this other one. Look at this dimension, is the size is correct because the size is less than 254 something kilobytes, but the dimension is wrong. That is why it complains about compression. Compression. It needs a dimension of 600 by 600. So even if I click here and go to properties, let me bring up the screen here. If you look at the screen, it will go to details. Notice it says the pixels here is 600 pixels width, 600 pixels height, and it must be, the resolution must be 300 dpi. So if you're unsure, make sure right click on the picture. Even if you don't want to use this website to check for your photo, right click on your picture, go to details, and check for this. Check for this dimension. It must be like this, no other way. It must be 600 by 600, 600 pixels, 600 by 600 pixels, 300 dpi, and that's for the horizontal, and 300 dpi for the vertical. So I'm confident about this picture. My DV photo main. I'll click open, and notice it says your photo does not need cropping, because what this site does is it crops your pictures for you. But because my photo meets all the photo dimensions at 600 by 600, it says my photo is does not need cropping. So this picture is good to go. So let's go back to our entry. Oh my, I think hopefully it doesn't time out. So because I'm certain about the photo I will be selecting, and if, of course, if you have any question about photo requirements, feel free to reach out to me. If you also, I will post a Google Drive link immediately, like 10 minutes after this, or 30 minutes after this session, where you can put in your photo. You can take a photo with your phone camera. You don't need to be dressed in suit. Notice my photo, I didn't dress in a suit, but do not wear tank top shirts. Do not wear dresses that show your entire body, or your neck, your chest, your breast, whatever. So I'll choose a new photo. I'll go to the photo main and I'll click open. It identifies my photo and it doesn't say complain of anything. Means my photo is it's good to go. Notice how the background immediately merges with it just sinks in the background of the page, like the page color. It's because the background is white and this page is also white. So your mailing address isn't really that you know because there's a likelihood that they won't mail you anything, but you also want to put this in because it goes within your DS260, and I'll explain as we go forward. So in care of here, you can put this again. Notice it says it's optional, but you can put it as well as you can. So you in care of simply means okay, who is responsible for whatever this mailing box, or who do you want to put that can represent you in terms of when they mail you something. So if you can put in care of whosoever, but I just leave this blank, it doesn't matter. So your address here basically means whatever address. If you live on Palm Street, Lusaka, Zambia, you put Palm Street. Again, if you do not have an address, if you do not have a specific address, just put, you can just put something related to your address here. The address, what they are more interested in terms of your mailing address is it's your city, your town, and your postal code. So even if you don't have a postal code, you can put no postal or zip code. But let's do Palm Street plot number. Let's do plot number one. Plot number one, Palm Street. Address two doesn't, we don't need that, but it's optional. The following are not, oh, it says the pound sign is not eligible. So I'll put number instead of pound. Number one. Yeah. So if I click, that is accept, that has been accepted. The city here will be Lusaka or Douala if you're playing from Cameroon, or Nairobi if you're playing from Kenya, wherever you're currently located. My province here will be I don't know if it's Lusaka province, it's whatever. You can put it here. I don't know the various provinces, counties, states in Lusaka. So let me just leave that. Your zip code, if you don't have zip code, or most of us in Africa we have, especially in Cameroon, we don't have zip code or postal code. So just put no zip code, no postal code. That's fine. The country, your mailing address. Note that this mailing address is different from your country where you are born, country of eligibility. This is simply where you are currently located. If you're in Dubai, UAE, wherever, you can select your location here. But in this case, I'll put Lusaka because Richard is Lusaka. Sorry, I'll put Zambia as for country. So country where you live today, of course, it's still gonna be Zambia. Phone number. This will be whatever phone number you currently have. You can put, let's just try a +260 and see what it says. 20. Oh, sorry, I didn't put this plus correctly. +260 9999999. Let's just do a Zambian code. Let's it really doesn't matter. Your phone number actually is not required. It's just optional because no one is gonna call you about your lottery. You won't need your phone number for anything, so it doesn't really matter. You can skip that. You can put it. It doesn't matter. Your email address is very important because you will need your email address to recover your. If you lost your confirmation number, you will need your email address. So let's say Richard Banda, Banda at gmail.com. Same email address, we want to confirm it. So Richard, that way we want to make sure we are typing in it correctly, Banda at gmail.com. What is the highest level of education you have achieved? This is where a lot of people think that, oh, putting the master's degree, putting PhD will increase my chances of being selected. No, this will never increase your chance of being selected. Note that all they need here is high school, your high school. But if you have in the comment section, if you're wondering that, okay, what if I don't have a comment? What if I don't have a what if I don't have a high school diploma? Am I still eligible? Can I make it through this program? Can I apply for this, even if you don't have a high school diploma or a high school certificate or GC advanced level? which is the equivalent in Cameroon, you can still apply for it. Do not miss your chances. Do not sit back and say, "Oh, because I don't have the high school, I can't make it." You still have a chance. Remember that this is for the fiscal year 2025. The fiscal year of this processing will start on October 1st, 2024, but it is called 2025. So the fiscal year in this case will start from October 1st, 2024, and it will end on September 30th, 2025. That's why it's called fiscal year. So in this case, what is your highest level of education? If you have a PhD, of course, go ahead and put it. If you have master's degree, put it. If you Some university courses are for people who are still students, like who have high school diploma certificate, and they are currently enrolled in university. You can still put it. It doesn't matter. Or they're interested in is the high school degree. But of course, put whatever you have here. If you do not yet have high school degree, still put high school no degree. That you went to high school but you don't have a degree. That way, this will not affect your chances of being selected. This will not. This is just for demographics purposes. They want to see who the people that are applying, who are playing, and their various demographics, or their level of education. So your marital status. I had this question in one of my comments. The question was, what if I'm married, and what if I'm married and should I play as couple or as individual? I'll answer that question shortly. So, what is your current marital status? If you're single like I am, please go ahead and put unmarried, which will be very common for most people playing, because we have a lot of youths playing who are unmarried. Even if you are planning to get married, this question is specific at the time of this entry. So even if you're engaged to your wife and you guys are getting, or to your girlfriend or your fiance, and you guys are getting married tomorrow, and you want to submit this form today, you will still have to select unmarried until you are legally married. It do not the fact that they pay your bride price does not mean you are married. This leads the marital status disqualify a lot of people not doing the selection process but doing interviews. I've seen a lot of people being disqualified doing this marital status thing, because they played as unmarried and they went claiming they are married, or something happens. It gets a little bit tricky, but we'll talk about that. So if you're married and your spouse is not a U.S. citizen, so if you're married and your spouse is not a U.S. citizen or U.S. permanent resident or a green card holder, you select this option. The reason for this option is because there is no need for you. They just believe that there is no need for you playing when your spouse is either a citizen or a green card holder. If your spouse is a citizen or a green card holder, they should be having you over. They should be able to invite you, apply for you through different visa program, and not this. So that is a certainty that you can come to the US if you're married. So, but if you are married and your spouse is not a U.S. citizen, simply means if you live with your spouse in Lusaka, if you live with your spouse in Douala or wherever, you both are not U.S. citizens or green card holders, any of you, then select this option. Married and my spouse is a U.S. citizen or listen, you still have to you select this option. These are people who just want to try their luck, but even though their spouse is already processing their visas to come to the US, they still just want to play for fun. It doesn't hurt. Still but you have to select the option. If you're divorced, still you have to select divorce. If you're widowed, put this option. If you're legally separated, put this option. But the most common option for those playing, most people who play fall under unmarried or married and their spouse is not a US or permanent resident, US citizen or permanent resident. So that is it. The number of children. Okay, let's talk about the last thing. Number of children. So the number of children here means children that are legally yours, right? Children that are legally yours and they are under the age of 21 and unmarried. If you have a child that is unmarried, do not list the child as your children, because they are independent by the policy of the DV lottery or the requirements. So notice it says children include all biological children, legally adopted, and stepchildren who are unmarried and under the age of 21. So they must be unmarried. If you have a child that is married, do not list them as children as a child. So let's give an example. If you have four kids, and let's say your four kids, one is 25, one is 20, another one is 19 old, and last is 16. The 25-year-old person is if the 25 years old person is married already, it's automatic. You don't have to release them. So you only have to add three children here, three children. If mm, the tw- all the for all the 25 I mean for all the four kids, if for all the four kids and the 25-year-old is not married, you still will not mention the 25-year-old because he or she is above the age that you should list. Whether they are married or not, you shouldn't listen. But if like the 20-year-old, you will list them regardless. Whether they are, I mean, so long as they are unmarried, you will list them. So married children here means, let's say if you're married, you meet your husband or your wife and they had a kid before, and you are legally married to your husband and or your wife, the child becomes yours. So if you are playing, you have to list your stepchildren as yours. So if you have your biological kids are two and you met another two kids for your husband or your wife, you will now have four kids per this program. So you have to list them. If you adopted a child during this process and the child is under 21 and unmarried, you have to list that child. So if you have three biological kids and you adopted one more kid and the child is under 21 and unmarried, you have to list the child there. The child there. So number of children, it confuses. If you fail to list these people, you will be disqualified. Not that you get to the level where when you get to the sorry, I just got confused by a question. I see a lot of questions coming in the comment. Keep your questions coming, please. Just as a reminder, please help me share this for those who even at the end of this conversation, this live session, please still share it. That way, people who are not, who are not here on the live, they can view it and take advantage of the information that I'm sharing now. So the number, back to the number of children. If you live, let's say your elder brother passed on and left you with two kids, and you have not legally adopted those children, they are not your children per this info per this program. So do not list a child that is not legally or legally yours. Meaning by legally we mean either it is your biological child, either you adopted a child, or it's your child. Those are the three qualifications, and they must be under 21 and unmarried at the time of this processing. So if you are pregnant, the child is still unborn, do not list it. If you are lucky and you get selected, you can you can always add the child when the child is given birth during your processing. That is 100% acceptable. So let's say Richard had three kids. Of course, if you don't have any kid, what about those who don't have kid? You just have to put zero here, but you must please put an entry here. Number of children. If you do not have any child, whether legally yours or whatever, which is the case for most of us young people, you can always click continue here. I mean, you can always put zero here and click continue. So that is the last entry. Let's go over this document. Before submitting this document, notice, oh, I forgot, I didn't put the high school degree, and that is why you have to uh, review the form before submit. Don't rush to click continue. Go back and start over. So make sure that your last name is what it is. It is very clear here. Last for family name, Banda. first name Richard. If there's no first name, put no first name. If there's no middle name, put no middle name. If there's a middle name, put a middle name. Gender, make sure you've selected the right gender. Very important. Your birth date is also very important. These are things that you should not make mistake. Notice that US have different. Okay, this is another important factor. US have different way of representing their dates. In most African countries or European countries, we have the day first, the month, then the year last. But in US, we have month. Month always comes first, the day comes second, and the year comes last. So notice here that this is the month. The 7 year is not a day, it is a month. So it's July 4th, year 2000 for Richard Banda. This is the year, date of birth for Richard Banda. Pay attention to this. So the city, we put Lusaka, that is correct. The country where you were born, we selected Zambia, that is correct. Country of eligibility of the DV program. Remember I talked about the various options because Richard Banda is, let's say, from Cameroon or Zambia where they are eligible. So, and that's where they are born. They qualify for this program based on the country where they are born. That is why they ask here, are you claiming eligibility based on the country where you were born? Let me pause here and check the comment section. I want to make sure we are in flow. I noticed that the music stopped, so give me a second. Okay. So keep your questions coming, keep your comments coming. Please share this live session. If you have any issue viewing this content, please let me know and I will take it over. We were on, are you claiming eligibility based on the country where you were born? If it is yes, click on yes. If it's no, click no. The only people who should click no here are people from like Nigeria who are not eligible based on country, right? And they are only eligible because they are married to a spouse from that country, from a country that is eligible. For example, in Nigeria married to a Zambian, in Nigeria married to a Cameroonian, in Nigeria married to any country that is eligible. We will click no and select the country of their spouse. But for most of us, from Cameroon, Zambia, most African countries and Europe as well, we click based on our country of eligibility, country where we were born. So this automatically grades out. You don't have to select anything here. Remember, we talked about the photographs. Do not rush in applying. Notice how sweet and simple and straightforward. Notice this, my photo. I took this photo. If you look at the back of my camera, I took this photo using my phone camera, and I'm gonna walk you through it. Again, I'll post a link, a Google Form link. If you have doubts, because this should be the only issue most of you should face. This should be the only issue that should stop you guys from playing, stop anyone from playing this lottery program. So select the right photo, the edited photo. Do not change any. Your face should be your face. Do not go and start polishing your face, changing. No. If you have whatever on your face, it remains. Your address, we talked about the address. Your country where you live, it can be different from your home country. Still put it. It does not disqualify you. Phone number is optional. If I'm you, I won't even care. But of course, I put it here. It's optional. Email address, very important. Make sure you verify you put the right email address, because in case your confirmation number is missing or something happens, this is the only place you get it. Note that during the selection process, they will never email you about, oh, you have been selected. You have to use the confirmation, and we are going to see the confirmation number, confirmation shortly. What is the highest level of education you have achieved? The highest level of education here is the high school degree. So high school degree, if you have your university degree, which is bachelor's degree, put it here. If you're currently taking graduate program, it simply means some graduate level courses. Means you have a bachelor's degree and you're taking some master's program. If you have a master's degree, select this. If you have a PhD, select this. If you're still enrolled in a PhD program and taking some classes, go ahead and select some doctorate level courses. What is your current marital status? If you're unmarried, select this option. If you're married and you and your spouse are living in Africa or a country out of the US, to select married and my spouse is not looking. I'll answer some questions regarding to married couples and how they should play in a bit. And the last thing, I took out time. I spent like 10 minutes to talk about number of children because this disqualifies a lot of people. It won't disqualify you doing the random selection, but it will disqualify you when you are. Remember, notice here it says failure to list all eligible children is grounds for disqualification. They don't play with this, please. So if you do not list, don't be shy. List all your children, even if you have three children from three different men or three children from three different women. Still put the three children here. They must not be from a single relationship or marriage or whatever. Once this is all clear, and remember I said children here means your adopted, legally adopted child, your stepchild, or your biological child, the person you take, the child you give birth to. And they must be under 21 and legally and not legally married. If they are married and they are whatever age, they are disqualified because they can play on their own. So once we have all this information, we click continue. If something is missing, no time. If something is missing, they'll tell us what is missing here. But nothing is missing. It says if you need to go back and make correction, do not use the back button. Yes, do not click this back button here. This is what they mean. If you want to go back, click the option because if you click the back button, you will start all over. So, but clicking this option will take you back. If that is, if after reviewing this form, and you realize some issues that you missed out. If you missed out, let's say your last name here shows Banda and you made a mistake and put Bando or something, use word O instead of it, you must click this back button. Let me click the back button. So do not click this option here, this back here. Click the back and go back as I click. So this, it will bring me back here. If I made a mistake and I wrote Bando instead of Banda, I will just change it here and write the correct one. So once I go through this form and everything is correct, I will click continue. It will take me to review this. So male, date of birth. Notice, remember I said US, they go by month, day, and year. So it's month, day, and year, unlike in most African countries where it's day, month, and year. City where you were born, Lusaka, Zambia, blah, 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 blah. All my information. Take your time. There is no rush in this program. Once everything is correct, click submit entry. Guess what it says? It says, congratulations. It says a success. DV 2025 submission. This is the confirmation number. This is what the information you need. This is all you need here. This information. You need your name, of course, because if you made a mistake, you want to make sure that you have this, especially your last name. Your confirmation number is this. You guys can write it down. It doesn't matter because this person does not exist. But you have to take note of your confirmation number. The most important thing here is your confirmation number and your date of birth, your confirmation number, and your last name. This will be needed to check your entry on May 2024. This is the period where the results will come out. So it takes approximately like 7, 8 to 9 months for the results to come out, and you have to click the entrance status check and fill out your confirmation number, your year of birth, and your last name to see if it will tell you congratulations or you have not been selected. So what you want to do here is print out this page. You want to print out this page. If you don't have a printer, that's fine. Make sure you take a screenshot. Save this page in all possible means, because if this page gets missing, it's crazy for you. So you can save as PDF on your computer. You can take a screenshot. I don't know how to do this. I'll just open my snipping tool. I'll open my snipping tool on my computer and take a screenshot of this and keep it somewhere and send it to my brother, send it to people that they can, like people I trust, so that in case I misplace it, back this up because it's important. So keep this. You do not need this until May from May, early May to June, July. But usually May, the result will always come out most often May. So you don't need this digital signature. You mostly need the year of birth, confirmation number, and the last name. So once you save this, I'll go ahead and save this. Once Once you save this, let me save it here. So once I save this, I'm good to go. So I've saved this information, and that is it for my entry program. There is nothing else I need to do after submitting this. So at this point, you've reduced the chance. Guess what? It will only take you maximum 20 minutes or 30 minutes to apply for this, rather than you rather than you going. So the question is, why will you go and pay 1,000 pounds for someone to take a beautiful picture and apply for you? This is one thing I will never encourage. Do not, all these people walking around saying apply for free, apply, do not, because if they keep your confirmation number and you are being selected, you have to pay them money to get it, and it is risky because you might never see them. So make sure you play the diversity visa lottery on your own. Make sure you play as an individual. Now, the question on what if you're, let me start talking about, we're already 1 hour above, oh, I mean, we're 1 hour, 11 minutes in this session. So let me start taking questions. If you have your questions, please post them. I'll be taking questions now. The very first question someone asks is, what is the best way if you're married, and both of you both live in Africa, or you both are not like legal, you both are not citizens or green card holders in the of USA? The best way to increase your chances is play as married but individually. So you should play for your spouse, you should play for yourself, right? And you will have to, there will be a spot. Oh, I already played. Let me go back to this application form. So I've saved this. Let me just go back to. So if you go and hit begin entry, if you're married, notice that whenever you do begin entry, it will ask you to check because they want to verify if you're real or not. So I believe this is KYYXH9E. Okay, so if I do submit, it should take me to the page. So notice that if you choose like married, yeah, if you choose married, it will ask you to enter spouse information. Married spouse is not the US. Let me see. If you choose, okay, no, I think it's here that, okay, it only asks for enter spouse information somewhere here, but it will, even if you don't get to enter your spouse information during the entry program, still as a couple, if you're legally married and you're wondering if both of you should play as individual or as married, you both of you should play the lottery, get individual confirmation number, but you must select this second option. If you're married and your spouse is living with you or is not a US citizen or permanent resident, select this married and my spouse is not a US citizen or a US lawful permanent resident. This increases your chance. It will not disqualify you. It will not disqualify your spouse. It actually increases your chances because if your wife or your husband is being selected, she will apply for you all. You guys are lucky. If your husband wins, you guys are lucky. So to increase the chances, play as individuals and make sure you select your married. It doesn't have. That is the best way to go about the application. Secondly, do not, I repeat, do not use AI photos. I see a lot of you using AI to generate photos. Do not try. Don't be fooled. Do not use the system. US systems are so advanced, they know. Sorry, I have an alert. Oh, US and Alex. Okay. So if you're married, sorry about that. Do not use artificial intelligence photos. Do not go and say, okay, I will generate a good picture because it will meet the requirements and play the lottery. Do not use artificial intelligence. Once you've submitted this, and this is why it's important for you to play as an individual. Once you submit this entry, do not resubmit, do not play a second time using your same information. It is only one entry. If you try a second entry thinking that you're increasing your chances of being selected, it will detect your two entries and disqualify you immediately. Remember, this session is a walkthrough of how to play the diversity visa lottery and also to reduce your chances of making mistakes while increasing your chances of being selected. So those are the things I wanted to talk about. Let me take questions. If you have any questions, I think now is the time to ask questions. I'll also introduce you to some tools on how to walk around with your photos. Okay, so I'm currently reading the comment section. If you have your question, please post. I see Jacob. Hello, Jacob. Thanks for joining. I see Westbrook watching from Kawe Central, Zambia. Thanks for joining. I see Jacob again. Thanks, Jacob. Anyway, thanks for joining. Clovek and thanks for joining. Hello. Watching from Kasama, the northern part of Zambia. Maureen, thanks for joining. Steffi, like I said, thanks. It's always a pleasure having you. My brother, Dan Franklin, thanks for joining. I hope this year you make it through. Elisha, watching from Lusaka. Hello, Elisha, thanks for joining. Let's see, Dan Franklin, thanks for joining. I've mentioned you already. Sandra, thanks for joining. I've talked about Eno Margaret, thanks for joining. Nancy from Lusaka, thanks for joining. Sandra Ike, joining from Douala, thanks for joining. My brother Braydon, thanks for joining. Watching from Lusaka, thanks for joining. Messi G art. Oh, we have the famous Messi G art here. Uh, Messi, hi, Messi. Thanks for joining, watching from Lusaka, Zambia. Thanks so much for sharing the information. Messi, I hope this year you're here. Go ahead and try your luck, and I wish you all the best. Steffi, thanks for joining. Hello, watching from Maryland, USA. Immaculate, thanks for joining. Agatha Francis, watching from Zambia. Thanks for joining. Can you drop the link for the website? I will drop all links immediately after the session. Ma Alvin Yaounde Cameroon, thanks for joining. Good day, Rain Soul, love. Good day, thanks for joining. Watching from Kidway, thanks for joining. Marshall Raw, Henry Hensley, watching from Zambia, Lusaka, thanks for joining. Watching from Zambia, thanks for joining. All of you, thanks for joining. Oh, my brother, Fomi Damien, thanks for watching from Yaounde, Cameroon. Sibong, sorry if I pronounce your names incorrectly. Foroma, watching from Zambia, thanks for joining. Peter Zulu from Zambia, thanks for joining. Please, once we end this live session, tag your friends, tag them to watch, tell them, please watch this video. Please, what you, there are 55 visas, 55,000 visas for the diversity visa launch program each year from all eligible countries. So it is an opportunity to get more Africans to the US. A lot of Africans they get this confirmation number, they think that they have done it, but they miss out on these techniques, these things that are pointed out. Play the lottery by yourself. If you give, let me tell you something. If you give your information to your brother to play for you, and you send it to another brother and they both play for you without you knowing that two people have played, you are automatically disqualified. And the reason why some of you get confirmation numbers and you're never selected. Watching from Afghanistan, thanks for joining. Franklin Quinty, my big time uncle, thanks for joining. Is there a record just coming in now? Damaris, there will be a record on YouTube. You can always get back to YouTube after the session and you watch it. Thanks for joining. Is it possible to use the same picture used last year? Hell no, don't do that. Sorry if I use the word hell, but it's a no. Do not use the same picture for last year. It is forbidden. Do not try. This session is heavily on increasing your chances of being selected. So do not use it. It's so easy to use. Borrow your friend. If you do not have a smartphone, you must not use an iPhone. You must not be well dressed, just be normal. You see, I took this picture, I took my own picture using my t-shirt. So long as it's not exposed and it doesn't expose your body, you're good to go. And it's clean. Your background, you must have a white background. If you look on the wall, if you look at the back, I will turn off this. Let me turn this off in a minute. And I show you. Let me stop sharing my screen and actually bring myself on the session. So if you look at the back, if you look at my back, you will see this is a bed sheet. This is a white bed sheet I bought it. If you do not have a white bed sheet, borrow from your neighbor, borrow from your friend. If you cannot take a selfie by yourself, let one of your relatives, one of your uncles or whoever stand behind the bed sheet, hold it, you stand, another person should take the picture for you. But make sure, that is how they played my own lottery. So make sure you do the same. Is it possible to use, okay, I already answered that question. It seems like the link isn't accessible to the public. No, I don't know which link you're talking about. Notice that there will be congestion on that link, and if you do not have good network internet connection, you won't be able to access it because a lot of people during the first few days, a lot of people are trying to play. So don't if you are unable to access the link, do not rush. You have like 5 weeks to play this lottery. There is enough time, but make sure you play it. I don't know if my brother Braydon is here. He would like to. I would have loved to bring Braydon in to talk, share his experience on this lottery process. Let me see. I'll be okay. I don't see a message from Braydon. Braydon, if you're watching, please send me a text and I'll send you the link to join the session. I would you love you to share your experience. I don't want to share my experience by myself because I have a lot to talk about and I've been talking for so long now. So, Ninkoich, let me put you on the screen here. Your comment joining from Yaoundé, Cameroon. Oops, I missed a lot. Sorry if you missed. You can always watch on YouTube. Thanks for joining. Any WhatsApp group where we can be asking questions. If you have any question, please you can I have a channel where I post updates. I do not believe in creating groups for the privacy of individuals because people collect numbers within groups and do whatever they want to do. So I do not create groups. I only have a WhatsApp channel where your number is not exposed to anyone, not even myself. I don't see your numbers. So I'll post the link of my WhatsApp channel. I update on those WhatsApp channels. Tatiana Beta, watching from Zambia, thanks for joining. Thank you for the information. That's from Emmanuel Zakaria. Thanks so much, sir, for joining. Okay, Eno Margaret, can you ask a professional to do the picture for you so they maintain the right pixel resolution and dimension, then later use your phone to apply for the DV launching? Yes, you can ask a professional to do the picture for you, but make sure even when the professional it like captures the pictures and send to you, still use the photo tool from directly from the US government website to check for it. Right, make sure it's accepted on that site before you can continue. So that question was from Eno Margaret. Regardless, do not be confident of someone's work. Take the photo, upload it on the website. It's free of charge. Upload it on that the photo tool. I'll post all the links after this session in one text. So Clara Eno says, does playing early increases your chance? No. Playing early or playing late will not increase your chance of playing. Just play right. The only way to increase your chance of winning is by playing right, following these instructions, these basic instructions I've given you. That is why they say it is basic but still critical. My young man, Funwe, for those with health issues, can that be a determinant? No. Play, even if you have health issues, play the lottery, right? Health issue is only being brought up doing your interview. It's a long process. And remember, this is DV 2025, meaning you have like 1 year, 6 months to process. If you are selected, you have like 1 year to process your document. So it's not like do not quit your jobs after playing. Do not think that oh because I play and I have a confirmation I'm traveling to the US. No, it's still not a guarantee. So thanks for that question. Can you apply as both married and unmarried or and without a child to increase your chances? No, you only have one chance. It's playing right, submitting one entry, and submitting whatever you are entitled to. So if you're married, play as married. Do not try to play as unmarried if you're married. Do not try to play as married if you're unmarried. Follow the rules. So if you have a child plan, you must place your child. It's automatic disqualification once doing your visa application if you get selected. And the worst part is if you're being selected, if you type on doing in May 2024 when the results come out, and you take the confirmation number and you type and you see you have been randomly selected and you process all your documents and you don't make it through, that is more painful than not being selected. Trust me. So do not make any mistake. Clara Eno, do you need a passport? Oh, that's a very good question, Clara. Thanks so much. No, you do not need a passport. This year and even last year, there was no passport requirement. They tried the passport requirement like 2 years back. They realized that it didn't work. It didn't bring in like a lot of people as they expected. So no, you do not need a passport to play. Remember, we just went through the application with there was no passport information site or where to put passport information. I think my boss is asking for photo editing. So for photo editing, I'll share my screen in a minute. Let me go through all these questions. What if you do not have any intention of going in for A level? Immaculate, if you have there are two options. If you have 2 years of professional experience and you can prove that you took intensive training, like 2 years of training, in order to do that professional business, you are still better off. But the best chances is have an A level, or what we call in Zambia high school diploma or grade 12 certificate. So if I'm married and my spouse and I we are divorced, we're in divorce proceeding. What is the best way? If you are not yet divorced, you are not yet divorced. If you're still in divorce proceeding but you are not yet divorced, please play as married. It is very understandable that when the results come out and you're divorced, it comes out that you're divorced. They will look at the date when the divorce documents were signed and they'll be like, okay, yes, this divorce took place when you had already played, so that's very fine. But do not put divorce when you are still in the process of divorce. There are no speculations here. Is selection section by country? It's not really section by country granularly. It is section by geographical location. So the US like this process this program has its various regions, right? They group them in region. Like Europe, they have Africa, they have all this. So the allocations per each region, depending on how many people play. That is why you are encouraged to play and play and play. So it is based on the regions, and depending on at the granular level to some sort, yes, country can come in like this, okay, this number of people, but these statistics are always, they always publish them at when the results come out that, okay, these are the number of people that were selected from this region and this. So it's all based on how many people are in the US. Like again, we talk about the population of that particular country. You will see in some years to come, countries like Cameroon, Kenya will no longer be part of the diversity program because there are a lot of Cameroonians and Kenyans here. That's fact. Just like Nigerians as well. That will be in several years to come, of course. Can you play if you are out of Cameroon? Yes, I answered that question. If you, so long as you are a Cameroonian, you were born in Cameroon, yes, you can play. Even if you are giving up your citizenship, so long as you were born a Cameroonian, you are eligible. You can play. The other question I have here is okay, I see your message, Rashidatu Gaba. Hello, thanks for joining. Hello, Big Bro. Oh, Noel, thanks for joining. I think, hope everything is going well. I'm from Algeria. The options to select the gender isn't available for me. I assume it's one of the first day issues. Perfect. You've answered the question, Azu. Thanks for highlighting that. Sometimes during the first day, that's why I don't really encourage people to play during the first day. It doesn't increase your chance of being selected because there are a lot of congestion. Some things will be missing and the network will be slow. Just give it some time. You have 5 weeks, but make sure you play. Do not forget. Daddy Bones, my big bro, amazing. Thanks for joining. Was at work, but I'm glad I still have some time. Yeah, you can always catch this on YouTube. Thanks so much for your time and efforts and resources. Thanks. I do my best to give out opportunities. This program is under my opportunities slot. Remember, my whole sessions, during my sessions, I talk about tech, careers, and opportunities. So I talk about scholarship opportunities, visa opportunities, opportunities to travel abroad, anything, opportunities to work, anything related to tech, career, and opportunities. So DV Lottery is one of those opportunities, and the highest opportunity. It's a life changer. It changed my life. It changed the life of my friends and my brothers and whoever is coming to the US. Let no one fool you. This is the easiest and this is the best way. I see you have problems with. Okay, I have problems with my wife. Actually, we are separate, but still officially married, and I cannot ask her their picture to join in the process. I don't think you need your wife's picture to play for. play for the TV. Let me know. Do you need your wife for picture when you select the married option? Just let me know. I might check back in. Let me know if you've attempted and they ask for the picture. If they ask for the picture and you are unable to put in, then that's where it becomes difficult because it's difficult to justify that. But yes, if your last option is to play as unmarried, go ahead. And if you have a good explanation, you can always. But it is critical. Just be careful. You might be disqualified. Do everything possible to get the picture. That is if the picture is required. Thank you, sir, for all this valuable information. Thanks. My big bro, Moa Laurent, thanks for joining. Thank you, Sir GW. I'm glad. Thank you so much. We do our best to give these free live sessions. Other people would do them on YouTube, but I do them both on YouTube and Facebook. If single, can I include a brother or sister? Look, your sister or brother should apply by themselves. They are independent. They are independent. Your only dependent people should be your kids and your spouse. It's your kids. That is whether they are legally your kids. I mean, biologically adopted or step your step kids. My big bro Clovis, thank you so much for the encouragement. I mean, comments like this push me to keep creating content. Okay, so who mentioned that you need a pick? Yes, you do need a pick. So if you need a pick, you need a pick. If you can't get the pick, then it's a difficult bet for you. Trust me, it's a difficult bet. So let me see. You need the photo of the spouse if you mention you are married. Good. So if you mention you're married, you need the picture of your spouse. Just like, and that's why we do this session. That way we answer each and everyone's question. I think okay. Let me go ahead and share my screen for a minute. I think I was on phone. I didn't even realize I highlighted someone's comment here. So let me share my screen for a minute again. Let's take a look at these some photo requirements. Let me see here. So there are various tools to go about your photo. One of the most easiest, the most efficient tools are paid for tools, right? There are tools that you have to pay for. Let me share my screen here with Enter School. We have a website like this, visaphoto.com. This is a good site where you can modify, like if for example a picture like this. Let me go ahead and try this out. So if I go to visaphoto.com, it's $7. It's worth $7. That's for people who can afford it. Of course, we'll touch base on other sites. If because we are playing based in United States, the program is United States. We select United States document, U.S. diversity visa logic. So we are generating pictures based on the DV logic program. So we select them. So we want it to fit the background. Meaning, even if you took a picture without a white background, if you see here, this is an example. A picture without a white background, even if you take a picture without a white background, they will change the background for you and make it to be white. They'll modify, adjust your head. If your head was bent, they'll adjust it. But they don't. One thing they don't change is they don't edit your face. So they can only adjust your neck if it was bent. They can adjust, like make sure that the picture, if the picture was sideways, they can bring it in the middle. They fix all of this and they require contrast. So let me go ahead and upload like this picture. Notice this picture was not approved. This picture is the right one. Notice the background is not completely white. It's like yellow or something. So if I want to use this site, of course, it's paid $7, but we'll look at other tools. So notice it automatically updates it changes it says we have formatted the photo according to the requirements of the US DV Lottery program. It highlights exactly what it did. Like it puts the picture in the frame. It changes the background to white. It wasn't pure white, but it changes it to white. So if I click on continue to download, it will ask for payment because it costs $7. It will ask for payment for me to make a payment. But hey, if you have any issue, there are let's look at other sites. So if I go to you can go to Google and you do DV Lottery free. DV lottery photo checker. So dvlottery.me is another one. I think this one is only $2. Let me see. Upload your photo to check it. So if I click on this photo, dvlottery, this, it will say photo is loading. It says image width or height is greater than 1200 pixels, right? So it identifies the issue. And if I want to, let me see. Okay, this just checks the photo. It doesn't. I don't think it modifies the photo. It just checks the photo. So already this is another site where it only checks the photo to make sure. So there are various platforms, websites that you can check your photo. For someone like Margaret who asked the question that if what if you pay for someone to take the picture and you want to use the picture, that is fine, but make sure you use good platforms like this dvlottery.me. This is not an official website, but I see a lot of people using this site and it works well for them. So you can, it is free to check your photo. You can come upload it, and if there's something, it will tell you there's a failure. If again, let's do another site. If you just type dvlottery, am I even typing? If you type dvlottery, uh, photo photo tool or photo, yeah, let's do photo tool. So you see a lot of program. I'm telling how to edit, that walkthrough videos on how to edit your photos. We have covered this visa photo. This is the most common, but it's paid for. It's expensive. There's one for $2 as well. And also you can edit. Unfortunately, I cannot share my phone, my listen. You can edit on your phone. You can edit that same dimension, but I'll post all the requirements, and I will also post the, because we don't have much time, I'll also post the links for all possible websites you can use free to edit your photos. So all of this information will be made available. You must not play the lottery today, but just make sure that you are available. I mean, you play them within the time, the allocated time. So these are various tools that you can use for your DV lottery program. Uh, of course, this one is this anything that requires you to sign up before down the way. So I'll post all the links for the photo tools you can use. If you're in the US and you can afford the $7 for your borders, for your family, just go ahead and pay the $7 and do this. There's another one for $2. I don't see here, but I'll also post, and there are also some free tools available. Oh, I thought I was sharing my screen. Sorry, guys. I thought I was sharing my screen. Damn. Sorry about that. I thought I was sharing my screen. So I was talking about this, like this. Um, I showed the DV lottery checker. I said when you upload your picture, notice like this DV photo I have, this one that didn't make it through. If I select it, it's not in the right dimension, so it will tell me, it will process photo is loading, and it will tell me image width or height is greater than the allowed pixels. So this is another way. If you go to a cyber cafe or wherever, or if you take your picture on your phone and you want to check if it's eligible, like with the white bed sheet, like mine at the background, you can use this tool. This is a very good photo tool to check. But make sure you check your photo on all platforms, and they should meet the requirements before you apply for the DV lottery. This should be the main thing. Again, like I said, I'll post all the available tools. There's another one I think I showed. I don't know if you guys were when I showed this visa photo. I think I showed this as well. So if you click on visaphoto.com, it asks you select country, United States. It tells you which document we are trying to check based on US visa, the DV lottery. So it can fix your head, fix the background, like change the background to white. I've already explained all this. So if you upload the tool, notice this background is not completely white. So if I select it and I click on open, it will process it and it will modify the tool. Of course, this I think this platform is $7, so it will ask you to pay for it. But I'll post other tools, photo tools that you can use. You can also edit on your phone without using any of this tool. And I will within the week, by Friday, I'll do a short video on how to post to do it on your phone without using any tool, and I will post on my Facebook. So stay updated. Notice it updated the picture. It puts it. It adjusted everything as it is, and changed the background to white. So any other question? That's a good question. How many photos can you edit for $7? Let me see. So if I click to continue, it it says okay. So one, just one. You can only edit. For my experience, you can only edit one photo for each. I mean, for $7, you can only edit one photo. From my experience, but it's very very reliable as well. Notice how he puts it. But I'll post all the link for all the photo edit, the ones that I know, and I'll also do a video, just a video, a separate video for it. Any other question? Let me see if there are no other questions. What else have I not covered? Okay, wisdom. Yes, the site will normally be jammed, and depending on where you're joining, you're trying to access. If you're trying to access from Africa, there will be limited bandwidth, right? People from the US will have better access than you, who is accessing from Africa. That's based on the bandwidth, the server location, because the system is located in US. So people from US, Canada will have access to it easily than you. But there is no rush in playing the lottery today. That's the thing. So playing early does not increase your chance, but do not play late because you will forget. I think that concludes the session for today. I've been talking for 1 hour, 41 minutes, and 40 something seconds. It's always a pleasure having sessions like this. Stay updated on my platforms, and I will keep you informed as always. I will keep doing these videos. Just a reminder for those who applied for the Transformational Tech Program, I'm currently working on your applications. This is a life-changing opportunity. So if you applied for it, just hang tight for updates on I think it'll be October 6th. October 6th, the results will be out for those who are pre-selected. The 30 pre-selected candidates will receive emails from my team, and we will go about the interviews. I will be in Lusaka, Zambia in weeks ahead. So if you are in Lusaka, Zambia, if you are in Zambia or Kitwe, Kawe, wherever you are in Zambia, and you want to meet me, you want us to have a conversation, there will be a date available for a meet and greet. That way we can sit, talk. We talk about tech, we talk about education, we talk about careers. I'm coming with a list about 15 serious list of scholarship opportunities, uh, visa application opportunities, and everything you can think about in terms of tech, career, and opportunities. So do not miss. Uh, Stay updated on my WhatsApp channel. Again, I'll post all the links. It's always a pleasure having these sessions. We will stay connected on another session. Thank you so much.